holistichealth.com.
Julian?
Hello, everybody. It's great to be here with you all. You're a wonderful audience. I've really been enjoying sitting with you and feeling you. And thank you to L.Ac for inviting me, and it's a treat. I'm a doctor of Oriental medicine. I've been in licensed practice for 30 years. And what I've come to learn over the course of my career is that there are some patients that respond quite immediately and easily, and the results last, they stay. And I get those results with maybe 2/3 of the people I work with. And then 1/3 of the people that come to see me have been to everyone else. They've had chiropractic, they've been to homeopathy, they've had reflexology, they've done the everything. And they come to me kind of as a last resort because a lot of people out there still think that acupuncture hurts. So it's the last thing they want to avail themselves of. But it's the energy moving. It's not pain. Anyways, so they come in and they're frustrated. They're doubting themselves. They're broke. They're really at sea. And I wonder what the difference is. What is the thing that would make the greatest difference for them? And what I've come to the conclusion of is that we culturally tend to go and see doctors kind of the way we take our car to the mechanic. We take ourselves in there. I'm not saying any of you do this, by the way, but culturally, we go to the doctor and we say, I got migraines, I've got this, I've got asthma, I've got irritable bowel syndrome, I've got cancer, I've got MS, I've got whatever the condition is. Fix me. And that can work like 2/3 of the time. But what about that 1/3 of the time that it doesn't work? And these typically are chronic conditions, chronic patients. And what I've come to the conclusion is that the thing that's missing is a little bit like what Zarathustra mentioned, the thing about the quiet space, is the thing, so the atmosphere in the doctor-patient relationship doesn't allow typically room for the patient to be heard, to really be seen. Or even if they're trying to make themselves seen and make themselves understood, it's not heard. So what I did is I thought about this some, and I created something called boosting your health-esteem. How to boost your health-esteem. And what I did is I wrote a program which is like 5 easy steps that anybody can understand and anybody can apply to any kind of medicine or any kind of doctor. Because I've discovered that, or I think that it isn't always about the doctor or about the style, the technique. It's about the person and the kind of relationship they have with whatever kind of doctor. My father was a physician, and I grew up with this MD doctor. But he was really frustrated with the limitations of the pharmaceutical approach. And he got into acupuncture when I was a kid. When I was about 5 years old, that was the first time I ever saw acupuncture. And he really loved acupuncture because it wasn't about imposing something that looked like health on patients with drugs or with surgery. It was about doing something that would awaken health within them. And he was so opposed to the conventional approach that at one point he had a job as a medical officer on board a ship in the Arctic, and he took the entire pharmacy and threw it overboard. And then later on, when, because of him, I got inspired to get into acupuncture, I was like studying medicine, and this is really interesting. I went to him, I said, well, I'm thinking about becoming an MD. He said, don't waste your time. You won't learn anything that you can use. It's totally impractical. Stick with Chinese medicine. That will work for you. But yet still there's this third of the patients that come. And I thought, how can I help them? And what I realize is really important is for people to begin to understand themselves more by asking a question, by coming up with an intention from a question. Why am I here? Why do I want to get better? Then I describe, because of 30 years in the medical world, I know a little bit about how the system works, the business model. And I teach how to find a doctor and a doctor's office where you will at least start to feel kind of at home. And then how to engage the doctor and begin to create rapport. And also how to communicate with the doctor and how to listen. Because some doctors, they're like on their own pace. They're moving quickly. They might be thinking of the person they got to see next who's worse than you are. So how to listen and how to get what they're saying. And then how to know that you're getting the results that you actually want. Because sometimes doctors can present this real great theoretical story, and it's like, wow, that's really amazing. I want that. But then, like, later on that night, you kind of get buyer's remorse, and you say, but wait a minute, what about my toenail fungus? What happened to that? I mean, it's great. Yeah, I want to build my chi, but I got toenail problems. How to get the doctor back on track to make sure you're really getting what you want. So I'm really excited about this. And I've learned it through working with my own patients and seeing what their experience has been. Because people come into me and they're also working with other like specialists in the field. A woman came to me at 24. She had endometriosis. They had already cut the nerves in her back. She couldn't feel anything back here to deal with her pain. They said, well, you don't really need to have a whole lot of sensation in your low back. And she went along with it. And then she was on such an intense hormone therapy that if they didn't stop the hormones, she was going to start growing all kinds of tumors. And at 24, they were saying, you're going to have a hysterectomy. You're going to have your uterus removed. Well, today, like 8 years later, she's got a 4-year-old daughter who's wonderful. And she's free of pain. She's having periods. So that came as a result of me working with her and teaching her how to talk to the other doctors that did the things that I don't do. So if you guys are interested in this, I've got a website, which is the Holistic Health Strategist, that's me.com. And on that, I actually have got some of these CDs I created. So L.AC. encouraged me to, I didn't have anything to hold up to make something. So I've got some of these, not enough for everyone, but you can go online, you can download it for free. There's also a checklist about making conscious choices, and getting the kind of consequences you want because you made the choice that will get it for you. So thanks a lot. It's been great talking to you, and thank you, L.AC., and thank you, panel.
Thank you so much.